What's the pettiest revenge you've ever got on an entitled boss? My boss at this upscale restaurant was a complete sociopath. She'd make me work double shifts without pay, steal my tips, and literally spit in my food during breaks. She once made me scrub the kitchen floor with a toothbrush because I accidentally dropped a fork. But the absolute worst thing she did was fire my pregnant coworker Sarah on Christmas Eve because she looked fat and disgusting and was ruining the restaurant's image. Sarah was a single mom, 7 months pregnant, and desperately needed that job. She'd been working there for 3 years, never missed a shift, and was the hardest worker we had. When she begged for just one more week to find something else, my boss laughed and said, "Maybe you should have thought about that before getting knocked up like a trashy horse. Now get your pathetic ass out of my restaurant before I call security." Sarah collapsed, crying in the parking lot while customers stared through the windows. That's when I discovered my boss's dirty secret. She'd been skimming money from the register for months and blaming it on different employees to get them fired. She had a whole system. She'd pocket cash payments, delete them from the system, then accuse random workers of theft. She'd already gotten 6 people fired this way, including a teenage kid who was saving for college and an older woman supporting her disabled husband. But I also knew something else. My boss was obsessed with this food blogger who had 150K followers and could make or break restaurants with a single review. She'd been desperately trying to get him to review our restaurant for months, even offering him free meals and cash bribes. She was convinced a good review would make her rich and famous enough to open a chain of restaurants. So I created a fake email account pretending to be his assistant and told my boss he'd finally agreed to come in for a secret review. I said he'd be dining alone on a specific Tuesday night, would be dressed casually to stay incognito, and that she should personally handle his table to make the best impression. I even sent fake preparation guidelines about his favorite wines and dietary restrictions. That Tuesday, I watched my boss transform into the sweetest person alive when a well-dressed man sat alone at table 7. She was practically crawling on the floor to serve him, giving him free appetizers, expensive wine, the works. She kept whispering to the staff about how this was the most important night of her career and how we'd all be rich when the review came out. She even comped his entire $200 0 cents meal and slipped him her business card with her personal number, begging him to call her directly. After he left, she was bragging to everyone about how she just secured the review that would change her life. She was already planning her expansion, talking about firing half the staff to hire prettier girls and calculating how much money she'd make from the publicity. The next morning, she got a call from the real food blogger's actual assistant asking why some random restaurant owner was harassing him with calls and texts about a review he never agreed to do. Turns out, the guy from Tuesday was just a regular customer who got the best service of his life for absolutely no reason. But here's the beautiful part. While my boss was busy kissing up to fake food blogger guy, I had called the health inspector and told them about the money skimming. I also called Sarah's lawyer friend and gave her copies of all the evidence I'd been secretly collecting. The health inspector showed up the next day and found violations everywhere. The labor board came the day after that. By the end of the week, my boss was facing criminal charges for wage theft, tax evasion, and about 15 health code violations. The restaurant was shut down permanently. My boss is now in county jail awaiting trial. Sarah got a settlement that paid for her entire maternity leave.